So we'll start the class. Voltage regulators. After seeing the basics of all the regulators, why regulator is done, we'll move on with the voltage follower. See, as the name indicates here, it is just a voltage follower. That means the output will just follow the input. What the difference, we'll see first the circuit diagram. You'll understand. We have a op amp, fine, and this op amp has the supply voltages. You can observe that is the supply voltages which we used to tell, like plus VCC and minus VE. It is connected to the supply source. Okay, whatever the supply voltage, for that it is connected. We are not giving like constant supply plus 12 minus 12 in that way. Here it is just connected to the supply. And one more thing is the non-inverting terminal, that is the for plus a Zener diode is connected. Okay, the D1 Zener diode is connected to the positive terminal, that is non-inverting terminal. So it is a voltage follower. That means input is given for the non-inverting terminal. Since it is a voltage follower, the output also will be whatever the voltage appears across the diode, that is VZ. We consider it as VZ. So Vs is our supply voltage and the voltage across the diode, that is Zener diode, is Vz. So that will appear across the output. And the inverting terminal is just connected to the output only. Fine. Then the op amp from the output from the op amp is given for a series pass transistor Q1. See, this is just to protect, because if the load current is very large, then they'll go with the series pass transistor. So the output voltage V0 will be what now? V0 will be nothing but the voltage across the Zener diode. So whatever will be the supply voltage, that voltage will be controlled by this Zener diode, and a constant voltage will be supplied as the output. So this will work as a regulator. Just going on with the theory of it, the important is the op amp supply terminals are connected to the regulator supply voltage. That is one important thing. And when it is connected to the supply voltage, see here, negative terminal is grounded here. Okay, we are not connecting it to minus 12 volts. It is grounded, that you have to remember. So when we grounded, we had seen in AC amplifiers that when we ground the negative supply or negative bias voltage, when we ground it, then we have to give a voltage divider. That is, two resistors should be used, and we have to divide the supply voltage. Then only this op amp will work. That sentence I will show. Next, the op amp supply is plus Vs and ground, and the input is given for the non-inverting input terminal. And so what will be V0? V0 will be equal to the Zener diode voltage Vz. See, there is only feedback is there, but no resistors are used. So the gain is 0. Gain is unity here. Okay, no resistors are used to get any gain here. And the function of this series pass transistor is what? Q1. That is to provide load current larger than the maximum supplied by the op amp. If you want more load current, then this transistor will be used. If the load current is less than 25 milliamps, then you need not go with this transistor Q1. And the capacitor C1 has a large value capacitor. It is usually from 50 microfarads to 100 microfarads, which is connected at the output to help supply fast demands on the regulator transients, or it is used to regulate or to oscillate. To suppress these oscillations, we go with this capacitor C1. So voltage follower regulator has a op amp. The input is given for the non-inverting terminal of the op amp. The input is coming from the Zener diode D1. So whatever will be the voltage Vz, that will appear across the output, which is given to the base of the transistor to give more load current. If the load current is less, then we can remove this transistor and we can directly connect it to the output. And capacitor is used to remove the oscillations. Okay, any transients or any fluctuations, to remove that, this capacitor C1 is used. And what is this RS? Our RS is supply source resistance. Okay, this is all about our voltage follower regulator. So what will be the design process? As I had told, we have op amp with negative supply terminal is grounded. Okay, when it is grounded, what should be done? The op amp input terminals should be biased at approximately half the supply voltage. That is important. Since it is grounded, we have to bias at half the supply voltage. Like if supply voltage is nearly 12 volts, it should be like 6 volts. For example, I am telling you. And the series pass transistor can fix a heat sink to remove the excess of heat. To protect the transistor, a heat sink can be added for the series pass transistor. So that is the design process. Next we'll see the performance here. When the supply voltage, so whenever the supply voltage changes, okay, what will happen? There will be a voltage drop across R1 that we saw, that resistor, and that changes by the same amount. Consequently, the Zener diode current also changes. So three important things will happen here. Whenever the supply voltage changes, okay, Vs changes, there will be change in the R1 also, okay, because supply voltage, the current will change. So R1, there will be drop across R1. Similarly, there will be change in the Zener diode voltage also. Okay, all that are connected together. Consequently, the Zener diode current also changes. So this causes change in Vz. Vz is what? Voltage across the diode. And because what is our V0? V0 is nothing but Vz. So the output voltage also change. So how they are connected, you might have understood now. So whenever the supply voltage changes, the voltage drop across R1 changes and the current across the Zener diode changes, and so the Vz also will change. When Vz changes, then V0 will change. So we'll go with the equations now. So how to find out this Zener current? That is delta Iz. When I write it as delta Iz, it is the small Zener current. So delta Iz is nothing but change in the supply voltage divided by our resistance R1. Get it? And what we do next, we'll find out the dynamic impedance of the Zener diode. So first we'll write delta V0 is the output voltage, delta Vz is the voltage across Zener diode. It is nothing but Zener current and Zener impedance, that is delta Iz into Zz. So just to substitute, what will substitute here? Delta V0 is equal to delta Vs into Zz divided by R1. I've just substituted the delta Iz. What is delta Iz? Delta Vs divided by R1. That value is substituted here. Okay. So we have found out delta V0. What is delta V0? That is change in the output voltage when the supply voltage changes. Okay. And this is the Zener impedance and R1 is the resistor. So by using this formula, we can find out the 10% change in Vs. Okay, that we had seen. That is the definition for line regulation, 10% change. So for load regulation means we have to go with the load current, that we substitute as IL max into series resistance. So delta Vs is equal to IL max into Rs. So just substitute here delta Vs value. Okay, when I substitute delta Vs, what will happen? IL max into Rs divided by Zz divided by R1. So this is for load regulation. So we got two equations. One is for line and one is for load. Next, we have to go know about the ripple rejection. See, all these three factors, why we are studying, these three factors will decide the performance of the regulator. The performance depends upon line regulation, load regulation and ripple rejection. So we saw both now. Line is completed, load. Now next we'll see what is the ripple. The supply voltage, whatever the ripple in the supply voltage, it is represented as VRS. It can be treated like a supply voltage change to determine the output ripple voltage. So just substitute VRS for delta Vs and VR0 for delta V0. So if you substitute in the formula, what we'll get? VR0, that is change in the ripple, is equal to VRS ZZ divided by R1. So VRS and VR0 can be substituted to determine the ripple. Okay. And it is expressed in decibels. So all these three parameters that we saw for voltage follower, we'll see it by solving a problem. Now see the DC voltage source here has 12 volts. Okay. Supply voltage. Vs or VCC is 12 volts. And what we want output is 6.3 volts. And they have given R1 as 270. And they have given mentioned a Zener diode, name of that, and the load current is 42 milliamps. Okay, all this is given. If the supply source resistance is 25, that is Rs is 25 ohm. Okay, determine line, load and ripple rejection. These three important factors. See, they have mentioned one diode. This diode has a Zener, the dynamic impedance of 7 ohm. This you have to remember, this 7 ohm. Okay, that should be used. Next, what we have to find out, first we'll see 10%. We will take no, plus or minus 10%. So we'll see what is this 10% change in Vs. It is nothing but 10% of 12 volts. Vs they have given a 12 volts. So 10% of 12 volts is how much? 1.2 volt. Just that you substitute in the formula which we got now. That is delta V naught is equal to, in this formula if you substitute, it is 1.2 into Zener is 7 and R1 they have given 270. So you'll get it as 31 millivolts. This you have to substitute in your line regulation formula. It is change in the output voltage for plus or minus 10% change in Vs divided by original output voltage. So what is the change in the output voltage? It is 31 millivolts. Okay, 10 per minus 6.100, you get it as 0.5%. So line regulation amps. So go with 42 milliamps into RS is 5 into 7 is the impedance divided by 270. You will get delta V naught. That is delta V naught. Use that for finding the load regulation. Into 100, you'll get 0.4%. This is line and road regulation. Next, we have to know the ripple rejection. So ripple rejection formula is what? VRS divided by ZZ divided by R1. RS into 7 divided by 70. So next formula, put it in the ND law, VR by VR will get 1%. See, VRS will cancel. This is about your three important parameters. You can hear me, right?
Ma'am, cut ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ma'am.
Cut ಆಗ್ತದೆ.